Are you having trouble with factoring completely? Well, let me show you some videos on how to do so. So this one we have four different terms. The x cubed is one term, the 4x squared is another, we have a minus 9x, and then that last term is a negative 36. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called factor by grouping. So we are going to take the first two terms, we're going to kind of put those in the set of parentheses here for right now, and then we're going to group these two over here as a set as well. So all I'm going to do is factor out anything that they have in common. So the GCF that we have in this problem, we don't have numbers that are in common, so we can't factor any numbers out, but we do have some x's in common. This one has x to the second power, this one has x to the third power. So there's x to the second power that they both have in common. So we're going to pull that out. And then now what we're going to do is we're just going to figure out, well, what would I have to do in order to get what's remaining? So you can do division of whatever the numbers you just pulled out, x squared. And then you can do that same thing right there, x squared. Now, if I have x to the third divided by x to the second, that leaves me with x to the first, or just x. And then if I do that same thing here, the x squareds are going to cancel, leaving me with just a positive 4. And you don't need to do that step. It's certainly not something I normally do, but you can definitely do that. And if you just check it, x squared times x is going to give me x to the third. X squared times 4x gives me 4x squared. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. Now when we have that first term in the second set is a negative, we're going to pull a negative out when we do it. So they both have a 9 in common because 9 goes into both of these. So we're going to pull a negative 9 out. And then in parentheses, we're going to do the same thing. So you can take whatever you've taken out and divide it by that on both sides here, both of these pieces, to figure out what you need to put inside the parentheses. But you could just say negative 9 times what gives me negative 9x? Well, that would be just x. And then we have a negative here. This is going to be negative as well. So that means that this number has to be positive. And if I do negative 36 divided by negative 9, you're going to end up with a positive 4. Now, what you should notice right now is the two things that are in parentheses are the exact same. If you do not have that, there is a problem. There is an alert that needs to be going off in your head saying something is not right. So this is one of your factored items. And then the other factored item that you have is simply the two numbers that are not in parentheses, or the two items that are not in parentheses. So this x squared and this minus 9. So I'm going to now take those and put that in a set of parentheses. Now, you might just say, oh, okay, great, I'm done. I don't need to do anything else, but not quite. If I take a look at this, I should notice that we might have a difference of squares. So if you have not noticed that, or you don't know what I'm talking about, there's some videos on how to do that as well. But what you're going to do is you have an x squared minus a number, no term in the middle, and that happens to be a nice little squared number, perfect square number, then that means that our binomials can be brought down even further. This is going to be an x plus 3, x minus 3, and that would get you the x squared minus 9. So we have that factored out even further. We didn't do anything to this, so we can bring that down. And so what you have is 3 sets of parentheses. Now, not always is that going to happen, but in this case, it did. So this would be your finalized factored form for what we had to begin with. And if you want more questions like these, you can find them on my YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at U1Algebra. These are going to be located in the Polynomials portion of my playlist. Don't forget to save this for later. Like it, share it, follow me for more, and I will see you soon.